show a video.
Go. Oh God! Ah! 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 Okay, bro. Okay. Ah! We're gonna do the magic stretch. Where is it? Where does it hurt? Right there? Ah! Ah! It works! Magic sprint works!
Alright, so, thank you, Ernie. Today I want to talk to you about I want to describe the activities performed by an athletic trainer. Personally, for me, this is what I want to go into. I'm studying. I want to become an athletic trainer. For all of you, I don't know if you guys watch sports on TV or if you ever watch a game or play a sport. But you run into, if you play a sport here at college or if you watch a professional game, you'll see athletic trainers all the time. You might not notice they're there, but anytime someone gets injured, they're the first ones out to run on the field and diagnose the injury. Usually they're the ones that are carrying the players out or have them on the what's it called? Gurney, yeah, the gurney to carry them. What you saw there was what soccer players call magic spray. We call it magic spray because what it really is cold spray, and it's just compressed air that's very cold. And what it does is it acts as a numbing agent. So whenever you have an injury or you get kicked or something, you go out, the trainer sprays some magic spray on you, and the numbing agent basically prevents you from feeling whatever knock you just got. I'm gonna go through some of the activities. First off, I'm gonna go through the documentation of any and all injuries, if they're career-ending or not. Game prep and practice preparation of an for the game preparation of that an athletic trainer goes through, and some of the perks, or one of the perks that they have. So a lot of the times athletic trainers deal with so many athletes, especially here at an intercollegiate level. They deal with so many athletes that they can't really keep track of, they can't remember exactly what was done to every single person. So they have a system that they call Sportswear. I've talked to Lorena, who's one of our athletic trainers here, and she says that Sportswear is a program that they use so they can track and document any treatment that goes through the trainer's room. Sorry. The next point I want to make is that when they're not doing paperwork, they are always doing something, regardless of what it is. They're always filling up water jugs, or taping an ankle, or this, or whatever it might be. The game and practice preparation includes the taping of ankles, wrapping knees, taping knees or shoulders, hips, heating up, stretching an athlete before the game. I have a little story. This last season I was playing here, and at one point I got injured right before playoffs, and and Lorena took me in and assessed me, and I had a slight hip injury, and I wasn't able to really run or play for a good week. So what she did was she wrapped me, and she talked to my coach, which is another task that she does. They talk to coaches and let them know exactly what's going on with the athlete, and if they're able to play or if they're able to perform at the top level, or in my case, I was only able to jog around the field for 20 minutes, and then I would sit down for the rest of practice and watch everyone else play. For me, it was very frustrating. um, but the at that time we were going into our playoffs, and I asked her, I was like, hey, so are you gonna travel with us? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go with you guys to the playoffs since you guys are playing away. I was like, well, you've never done that before, like what's going on? She's like, well, for us, like at a college level, we only travel during the postseason for away games, which made sense. But if you are a trainer for a professional team, you get to travel a lot. So like let's say LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy has their own trainer that they hire and travels with them. So everywhere they go, anytime they go to play in Oregon or in New York, or in sorry, that way. Or in let's say they have a tournament in Mexico and they go play against Chivas, or they go play against Boca Juniors in Argentina. They're always traveling. They get to travel, which is a great perk. I mean, who wouldn't want to travel and explore the world like that? I have a video that I forgot to put up for you of our other trainer here, who is Juan. Thank you, Ruby. This is an ankle taping that was done in 16 seconds. Just play for you.
Ready, time.
Our trainer Juan actually has a personal record of like 14 seconds, and there he was trying to beat it, but he didn't get to it. Well, you can see it right there. It says Fullerton College on it. So he's our trainer here. He's a co-head trainer with Lorena. So as I explained to you, you can see. I describe the tasks performed by an athletic trainer, or some of the tasks performed by an athletic trainer before, which include documentation of any and all injuries, practice preparation, game preparation, and traveling perks that they get whenever they basically go to work. Thank you. Jesse, you want your email on this?
I'm still on it.
Yeah. I'll just remove it. Corey,
What's that?
you want your email on this?
No way, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Here's your check.
Yeah. It's like
That's not even like.
First of all, you got 4 days.
Yeah,
I just
wrote
You just say the
That's your problem.
You just, that's your problem.
But I mean, it's iPhones make you.
Is it a 4S?
Jimmy, what did you think?
I thought I really enjoyed your presentation, by the way, because I go to athletic training all the time after practice and stuff, so I know who Lorena and Juan is all the time. This thing was pretty clear when you talked about what an athletic trainer does, and you're very informative about what they do on when they go traveling, how they tape their ankles, and basically all the stuff what an athletic trainer could do and should do. Seems like you're passionate about the topic you were explaining. I like the way you described all the perks of what they do, all the what's it called, all the the stuff they do, pretty much, what an athletic trainer does. I like how you can relate your story, your experience back to your presentation. You know, it wasn't boring at all. Like, it's very relatable. And then I also like the way when you show the video in the beginning, it's really hilarious, right? And then you relate it back to your presentation about what a magic spray is and how it's cold, that cool stuff that can numb your injuries when you get hurt, right? Only con I have is you just need a little like practice on your speech. Like, you know your stuff, right? I just feel like if you just practice it like once, maybe with a little more practice, that you'll have it down. Like, your speech will just be smooth, and like, you know, it'll just be like, good. Other than that, I really enjoyed it because yeah, I liked it.
Well, the topic's clearly identifiable. I know what your subject is. It's not as clear as it should be as to what you're saying about that subject. And at first, I didn't really hear any preview. Finally, just as you're getting to the body of the speech, it felt a little bit like, oh, here, wait, let me set this up for you. And I thought that was helpful. That rescues, I think, the structure a little bit. I think also that at the end of the speech, kind of a reminder of what the main points were helps a little bit more than it would have otherwise. It feels very anecdotal. I think you need to have a little bit more to say, especially on those early points. When you're talking about the documentation of the injuries, for instance, why is this an issue? How do they do? You're talking about the software program that they're using, but why do they need to do that software program? How many athletes get injured on a regular basis? How many people do the trainers see on a regular basis? Don't they have doctors that keep track of all that kind of stuff if they have follow-up on those sorts of things? You need a little bit more context what's going on. I think what you're looking at is kind of a microscopic level from the point of view of somebody who's involved in this program, as opposed to a more macroscopic level, which is most of us who are outsiders, we don't see all this kind of stuff. So when you start off and you say you see somebody getting injured on the field and you see all those people rushing out to them, those are the athletic trainers, and they're responsible for a whole variety of things. You know, they're the first responders when there's an issue that's going on. They're the ones who maintain the athletes, who are, you know, nurse them through this process if it's a manageable injury that doesn't require any surgery or additional medical attention. And they're the ones that have to keep track of all the stuff that's going on here, so that then it makes a little bit more sense why we're talking. You start talking about this software program, I'm going, what the hell is this? Where did this come from? Why am I hearing about this? Well, because an athletic trainer might be working with 40 or 50 athletes a day, and they're working with 4 or 5, especially at an intercollegiate level, they might be working with 4 or 5 different programs at a time. They're working with the soccer team, the track team, the tennis team, the water polo team, and the football team all at the same time. You know, so they got to be able to keep track of those sorts of things. And you know, if each team has an average of 2 injuries a week or something like that, then we have to know, then we get some sense of what's going on there. So I just think you need a little bit more context. You're kind of looking at it from the point of view, well, what does this person do? Why do they do it? Why is it needed to be done this particular way? And I think that would help a little bit more. How many athletic, you mentioned, the athletic trainer, how many trainers are there for a team or for a college? Or you mentioned the professionals, they have one athletic trainer for the Galaxy, or they have multiple athletic trainers. That's the kind of stuff that I think is missing from the speech. So it's not that what you had isn't interesting information, it's that it's probably the less useful information to most of us. Listing all the jobs that they had, at one point you had this long laundry list of jobs that they had. I think that's a little bit less useful than the example that you did, where you talk about seeing a trainer yourself and why you had to see that particular trainer and telling a story like that. Then you can add into, I think, all of those kinds of jobs and say, typically, for instance, my trainer sees 16 people a day and does 20 different kinds of taping or treatment or therapy or something along those lines, or they have contact with 2 doctors on an hourly basis. I mean, just like I said, I think there needs to be a little bit more coherence to the way the information is coming out. It's a little passive there. The video is kind of cute as an attention device. You know, the guy screaming and then the magic spray that's being used there. That was kind of fun. The taping record, that's an interesting sort of thing also. But I think there's some things that are missing here, like that job list of things that they have to take care of. Maybe an inventory, a checklist of what a trainer has to do every day that's game day. What are the 10 things they have to do in getting the athletes ready before the game? You know, that sort of thing. You know, I don't know what they are except taping them up. I'm sure there's something more than that, but that something like that would be helpful there. And then again, some statistical information would probably fill in a little bit. I think Jimmy got it right. You need to run through this a couple more times. It sounds like you have a structure in your head. You know generally what you want to talk about. You got a couple of examples, but you haven't really practiced it enough to make it fluid and flow the way you want it to. And when you watch it back, I think you're going to hear some of the things that I'm talking about. Right now, people often, I'm talking, I know you're listening to me, you're trying to pay attention. What is he talking about? But when you watch it, I think you'll understand it a little bit more. So I encourage everybody to watch your videos again and then listen to the comments afterwards, because it'll often make more sense once you've got that context. All right, thank you.